Hey, that's pretty good.
Stonks. Stonks. Stonks.
Living that wild life, not stopping on no way. Just seeing green lights, won't never touch the brakes. Let me tell you something. 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 Right now, right now.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you spread. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something. 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 Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, right now. 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 Right now, right now.
I love you too.
Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Coffee and Crypto Live, everybody's favorite live crypto show that airs at 9:30 a.m. on weekdays. In case you're wondering, I am not Jebb. I'm not Crypto Jebb. In fact, I have been known by a couple names, the Crypto Beard, Non-Crypto Tim, and I think the newest one that might get a little bit of momentum is the Jebb Wrangler. Either way, Jebb is out of the office because he's at a planning meeting, planning some really big things for you guys coming in the near future. So this is the Beard Takeover. This whole show is going to be about what I want to talk about. We will not be discussing TA because if those of you who have been watching for a while know that Tim's TA is not that great. But if you do want TA, Jebb is shooting an afternoon video. He actually came in early this morning and shot it with a buttload of it. So check that out today. I think it's going to be airing around 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock. But we have a lot to talk about today because despite the fact that Jebb is gone, the show must go on, and a lot of stuff has happened. First of all, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin, Binance, and Cardano, and what is happening in those coins. We're going to be talking about some news, throwing it back to chat, letting you guys kind of chime in on that. We're also going to be going into talking about how you actually prepare yourself for the Coinbase IPO if you're wanting to invest. And then we will finish out talking about, as a crypto noob, what do you need to be successful? I am joined today by the producer, Smee the Tree.
Hi guys, today's gonna be a wild one. You gotta strap in your seatbelts, get ready. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yes, it is. And then sitting in my seat, probably the best seat in the entire house,
Best seat.
head of research, No Chill Dasa.
What's going on? It's No Chill Dasa. Love to see y'all today.
Yeah, give a shout out to Shades, my friend over there. He's sitting across me. But anyway, I want to go ahead and jump on in. First of all, despite no Jebb today, let us know what you think. I want you to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe because Jebb will be back tomorrow. Also, we are brought today completely by crypto noobs. I'm a crypto noob. Das is a crypto noob. Smay's a crypto noob. Some of us are newer than others, but at the end of the day, ain't none of us been here for that long. That being said, that doesn't mean we don't add value. So if you're a crypto noob, give us a shout out in the comments. And with that being said, is there anything else we want to talk about before we jump into big news regarding Bitcoin? Nah.
I think we're good.
We good. All right, here we go. So these are the things you need to know regarding Bitcoin right now. First of all, in case you guys didn't see, Bitcoin climbed above $64,000 last night and got right below 65 before kind of dropping back down. That's massive. But a couple things we want to talk about, looking at some articles this morning, and again, DASA, head of research, found these for us, is we looked at something talking about the Canadian ETF hitting a $1.3 billion AUM. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to that link. So why is this big news? Why is this important to you? Because we are seeing a lot of things develop in the American world, in the US, where we are developing ETFs. I know Grayscale is pursuing it. There was an article yesterday, I can't remember the name of the company, but another company is pursuing an ETF. But why this is important is, May, if you're on the site, if you're on the page. All right, so Canadian Bitcoin ETFs quickly hit $1.3 billion AUM while US acceptance lags. In less than 2 months, one Canadian Bitcoin ETF attracted $1.1 billion in assets under management, while two more funds are also growing their AUMs. The Purpose Investments ETF, the first Bitcoin exchange-traded fund launched in North America, has been its assets under management to soar to $1.1 billion less than 2 months after launching. Two Bitcoin ETFs that launched shortly after Purposes in Canada have also seen their AUM swell to a combined $200 million in the same time period, taking Canada's combined Bitcoin ETF net value to around $1.3 billion. So I'm actually not even going to read the rest of this. What this goes on to talk about is the fact that I think there's a number right here. You can see, okay, yeah, the next part was this generated nearly $1 million in trading volume on the first day.
100 million.
Yeah. Why is that important? Because within the next year or so, we are going to see these actually come to the United States as well, which is going to put more volume into the market. We talked about this last week, how back in 2004, when gold finally for the first time was offered as an ETF, the price immediately skyrocketed, and we're expecting the exact same thing to happen in Bitcoin. So keep an eye out for that. I know dates are, we'll update you on the dates that those are coming out, but this is a great thing for Bitcoin, which adds to the just ability for it to be marketed pretty much. Like this, imagine when you're talking to a company who wants to advertise, you can either make a direct sale, or some companies like Coca-Cola, they literally just want to put their name on everything so you realize that they exist there. ETFs, Jebb talked about it in a video last week, they don't actually directly affect the price of the market, but what it does is it gives the coin or whatever the entity or the commodity is, it gives it more attention, and more attention leads to more volume. So that's the first bit of information. Is there anything in chat we see regarding that? Does anyone have an opinion on that? The camera's out of focus. Darn. Well, we did
Sorry,
all we
David.
could. You know, it happens.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of focus on.
It looks good. It might be your computer there. But yeah, no. If there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and jump on to the next news. Do you guys have any thoughts on any of that?
No, it's super exciting and honestly something that's great. Tim said we're lagging behind, and with that, there are a few American exchanges that are looking into building ETFs around Bitcoin. So that'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. So again, let us know in chat if you have anything to think about that. If you have any questions. Also, just as we've been doing the last couple of weeks, if you have questions, make sure you hit them up. Smay's gonna be watching. Dot's gonna be watching to let us know. Also, if we get to 1,000 likes in this video, we will extend the show to answer more of those questions. Now, we ain't got no Jebb. We ain't got no expert in-house. That being said, though, that doesn't mean we don't know some of those answers. And actually, one of the reasons why Doss is on the show is because despite the fact that he's still just a noob to crypto, his crazy research means that he knows a whole heck of a lot more on topics than most people. So make sure you ask questions. Make sure you're involved. But with that being said, we will move to the next piece of very, very big news happening. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the story has continued to come out, and that is on what is happening with the former CIA director and what his stance is. So we talked about it a little bit on the show yesterday. He has come out pretty much saying, you know what, there's actually less illicit activity happening on Bitcoin than in traditional banking systems, which is big, but a little bit more information came out because, let me go to this link right here. He's actually talking about how the criminal usage is significantly overstated. So this is Michael Morell, and he says the United States should embrace blockchain technology, not quell it. So he goes on to say that so we're going down here. Michael Moore spent 33 years in the CIA and served as the deputy director from 2010 to 2013. The retired official was commissioned to write an independent report by the Crypto Council for Innovation. His findings included two important conclusions which fly in the face of recent declarations by the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. First, the generalizations about Bitcoin's illicit use made by the Treasury Secretary are significantly overstated, Morell said. The well-known narrative of Bitcoin as an asset used by terrorists and arms dealers doesn't hold up to scrutiny. On the contrary, the author actually argues that blockchain analysis is a highly effective crime-fighting and intelligence-gathering tool. Instead of fighting blockchain technology, U.S. authorities should embrace it for its transparency. That's why I'm going to end that link. Let us know what you guys think. Not only are we seeing that Bitcoin is not as dangerous as traditional banking systems, this former CIA director is actually saying this is the answer to fix criminal activity. He's talking about how the blockchain technology actually allows people to track and to keep things from like money laundering happening. Because I think that was, Doss, correct me if I'm wrong, that was one of the accusations that Janet Yellen said, is that this will be a new platform. We talked about yesterday, a lot of people in the United States who don't know what they're talking about use that as an argument. Oh, Bitcoin's gonna be used for illicit activity. Bitcoin's gonna be used for criminal activity. No, actually, the former director of the CIA is saying the exact opposite. It's actually the greatest security we have against that happening, and we should, rather than running from it, go to it. What are your thoughts on that, Smay?
My thoughts on that's it's pretty cool.
We had to clear the throat. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Nope, that great analysis there.
Yeah. You know what?
Awesome stuff,
Hey,
man.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, is there anything else we were missing on that?
Yeah, just even for the sake of numbers, because I know we have some numbers people in the chat, he gives a specific percentage. He says that it's illicit activity only makes up around 0.3% of total spending within all of cryptocurrency. That's not just Bitcoin, but across all cryptocurrency exchange, like it's only 0.3%, which is extremely minute comparatively speaking with traditional finance. So anyone that was concerned with cryptocurrency in a way that would make you think, oh, that is not the answer, or Bitcoin is not the way, it is the way to avoid that, like Tim was saying.
Yeah. No, we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the stream. We're going to talk more about it because, again, this video is brought to you by Crypto Noobs. We're going to be talking later about how to actually help. We talked a little yesterday, how to help family members who are not quite getting on the bandwagon just yet, how to help encourage them and teach them why they should be. That being said, though, another article I want to read about this goes a bit further with the CIA director. He actually says not only is this not illicit for criminal activity, he also is saying that this should be used for national security. And he starts to kind of go in on the China issue. So Michael Morell challenges accepted no corner convention that Bitcoin is full of illicit activity. Okay, actually, I'm going to skip that. We just talked about that. All right. So in an independent paper, Morale's research led him to conclude that generalizations of illicit activity are overstated, simultaneously adding that blockchain analysis serves as an effective method of fighting crime, gathering intelligence. Let's see. Is this might not be the right article I was looking at. Give me just a second.
Can't keep hopping around
Gosh,
on me
man.
like that.
I know. This is a new show, guys. Like this is breaking out. There's more power in this seat, first of all, and with power comes responsibility. And I don't know if I was quite ready for it, but I'm gonna get there. This is gonna happen like every second Wednesday of the month. So
Rip Tim.
we gonna get better every single time. But that being said, I want to make sure I find it because I found it really fascinating because he was literally talking about how you know what. Forget the article. You can go look it up later. You can do the research for yourself. I'm going to kind of synopsis what's happening. He's actually talking about in light of what's happening with China. That's been a massive piece of news this week. Is China going to use Bitcoin as a weapon against the United States? We talked about it already on the show, but again, this is another person of authority just backing up the argument that we are making that the best way to defeat China is to utilize the blockchain. So not only are we going to utilize it to fight crime, we're going to utilize it to stop a potential Cold War from happening again. Yes, just like we had with the Soviets back in the, what was that, like 70s through the 90s?
I think it was the 60s.
The 60s, beginning of the 60s? Okay. There is a potential Cold War that could develop between China and the United States, and Bitcoin sitting right in the middle of it. But what is phenomenal about Bitcoin is Bitcoin does not choose sides. It is about you, the people, just like your president, Crypto Tim, non-Crypto Tim. Either way, the best way to stop China from utilizing blockchain technology against the United States is for the United States to adopt it themselves. Let us know what you guys think in chat. That's a pretty straightforward thing, but that being said, it's crazy how many people don't realize that or don't think that way. They're very afraid of it. They want to run from it rather than running towards it. And those articles even talked about when he started this research. This is Michael Morale. When he started this research, he actually was listening to the chat from Janet Yellen and the other Bitcoin haters, give or say, which, to be fair to Janet Yellen, I don't think she's a hater. I think she's just skeptical at this point. But as we grow, we're realizing she just really doesn't know what she was talking about. Kind of similar to me, but that's okay. Really, in reality, we're seeing as experts do their research, this is actually everything we need to fight poverty, to fight government dominance. This Bitcoin is going to not just step in and solve our personal issues, it's going to solve economic issues. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Were there any good questions or any good thoughts that we saw posed there?
Totally random, slightly disconnected, but a lot of people are talking about like altcoin pumps right now, like Dogecoin and what's going on there. And I think what's going on is actually the Coinbase IPO drops today. For those of you that aren't aware, Coinbase is now going to have a listing on some major platforms. It's coming through the NASDAQ. And because it is, what it's doing is it's taking cryptocurrency and it's bringing it to the public eye. And so naturally, small cryptos and Bitcoin are going to pump. And I think that's what's going on. So for anyone asking about Dogecoin and that sort of thing, that's what seems to be happening there.
No, Dogecoin, yeah, for sure is pumping. We talked about it a little bit around the table. Let us know in chat, what are your thoughts on Dogecoin? Jebb is not here to give his forever hateful message to it, although he has good reasons for it. I want to know what you guys think. I'm going to give you my quick opinion before we move on. I think we're going to be talking, I think next we're going to be talking about, actually, no, that we're going to move into the next point on Bitcoin. But either way, Dogecoin is everything that people who don't know what they're talking about with Bitcoin, what their fears about Bitcoin are. That's what Dogecoin actually is. When you have that mom who's like, how do I touch a Bitcoin? How does it have any value if I can't feel it, if I can't do anything with it? Well, that is a very real fear when it comes to Dogecoin. Am I wrong, Dasa, Smay?
Not at all.
No,
I hold 21 Dogecoins, and Dogecoin is the future, guys. Come on.
Well, don't get me wrong. So here's the thing that everyone needs to know. In terms of short-term money making, it's great. Obviously, last night, whoever was holding it yesterday made a lot of money last night. Here is the problem. Look at the history of currencies. We were talking about this morning on the table. Especially, I know those of you who have read the Bitcoin Standard, or if you're considering it, the Bitcoin Standard is an amazing book in not only teaching you why Bitcoin is so amazing, but also the history of currency so that you know what you should actually be looking for. And it details the fact that at one point in our history, seashells were used as currency. As crazy as it is, they were used that way. The problem is they're very easy to produce. And at that time, people didn't really know. But as merchants got involved, they began to harvest them. I don't know what the correct term, mine them, pick them up at a more frequent level. They got them out from the
Scavenge
ocean.
them.
Mining seashells.
Scavenge. Good word. Scavenge. And as they realized its importance really was not that great, the value of them went down and down until at this point now, I wouldn't pay you a penny for a fancy seashell.
I mean, if it looked really cool, maybe.
Yeah, but I think that has nothing to do with the currency value of it.
I mean, like, is this
Either
like a
way,
conch shell, the one that like sounds like the ocean when you put your ear on it?
that is that's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those get sold pretty well. But
And
I
then
don't
you
think
can
it's a
also
form
put
of
your mouth
currency.
on it and go,
Oh my gosh.
you know what I mean? That's pretty sick.
Either way, here's what I'm kind of get you guys at with Dogecoin is it is fun. I heard someone say, what is the purpose of Dogecoin? To have fun. That's great. Have fun. I have lots of nephews and nieces who love going to the beach and picking up seashells and have fun with it. At the end of the day, though, they aren't going to make any money off of it. We talked about it yesterday. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. If you believe in Dogecoin, if you believe in those kinds of coins, go for it. If you, though, want a future and you believe in the future, you probably want to stay away from Dogecoin. Just my opinion, though. It's up to you what you do with your money. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Jebb's not going to tell you what to do. Das is not going to tell you what to do. We will give you great advice, but it's all up to you. So let's move forward now, going a little bit further. We talked yesterday, and this kind of leads into what I was saying. We talked yesterday about how to help teach family about crypto. So, as we said, a lot of you, maybe just like me, I actually have 2 family members right now that I'm kind of trying to preach the Bitcoin message to, and it's just not clicking. One of them, he's close. One of them, he's super close. He kind of is in the place where he doesn't have a good gut feeling about it. But I encourage him heavily to read the Bitcoin Standard, read the history of currency. I think that will push him over the edge. The other one is a full-out hater. This is just another fad. First of all, those of you who have been watching Jebb for a long time, fads don't last 10 years, and Bitcoin's been around for 12. So Bitcoin is clearly not a fad. But he literally tells us every time I hang out with him, he says, well, just mark the day when you are sitting at zero and you're going to come crying to me asking for money. Here's the thing. I could do 2 things. I could say, screw you, I'm gone, whatever. Or I can say, all right, I hear you. That's your opinion. I'm going to keep educating you despite the fact that you don't want it. But those reversals are about to flip. Those stories are about to flip where it's not going to be me running to you asking for money. When Bitcoin becomes the thing, and I don't know when, and I'm hoping it's not maybe an immediate thing. When it does, though, and people's paper money goes to zero, they're going to come running to us, and we've got to be prepared. I was reading an article this morning. Go to my page there.
Real quick.
Point?
I was going to say, so on that topic, one of the things I read in chat the other day when we mentioned this briefly that I really loved was the idea of giving whoever you're trying to evangelize Bitcoin to just a little bit of Bitcoin. Yeah. You give them like $5 of Bitcoin and like that watch it grow. By the time it gets to $10, $20, you're like, shoot, I'm gonna buy some of my own because this is like keeps going up. Honestly, like I think that's really a great way to get people to realize that hey, this is not just nothing, So
yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so there's an article this morning. It was actually based off of a tweet, but I'm going to show you guys. Peter Brandt is saying if you're doing it wrong if you're accumulating dollars over Bitcoin. So I'm going to read here just so you guys understand. This is something. You guys will understand this. Maybe if you are new to crypto, maybe this will be really helpful to you. But if you're experienced kryptonite, I don't know what we want to call them. That's probably not the right term.
Kryptonite is
it's
associated
Superman's
with weakness, so I don't think that's it.
It's just a okay. Anyway, you will understand and appreciate this. But that being said, the majority of humans do not. Even people involved in crypto don't yet appreciate this the way Peter Brandt puts it out. In a death knell to the dollar, Peter Brandt says that the goal should be to stockpile Bitcoin. The renowned trader admitted his previous trading goal to accumulate dollars was the wrong strategy to have. But in the last year, Brandt says his mindset has shifted to favor the leading cryptocurrency. So I'm going to scroll down here below the tweet. He says, speaking to Larceny, Brandt said he previously measured his wealth in US dollars. His attitude was to stack dollars at the exclusion of everything else. So pretty much, stopping right there, what he's saying is he used to trade for Bitcoin just to pull it back out to continue to build his US dollar wealth. However, within the last year, his mindset has shifted. He now sees Bitcoin as the asset to stack over everything else. His reasons for the flip, like many before him have pointed out, Brandt said he wised up to the fallacy of measuring wealth in a depreciating asset, even going as far as to calling the dollar the most appreciating asset in the world. With his new outlook, instead of trading Bitcoin for dollars, Brant now sees Bitcoin as the measure of wealth, not dollars. What that now tells me is that I had a wrong goal because my goal was to accumulate the weakest asset in the world, the most appreciating asset in the world, and that's the US dollar. And so my mindset has really changed within the last year in terms of moving from Bitcoin as a trade to Bitcoin as a measure of wealth. And I'm not going to read even farther, but you can see the next tagline there is the dollar's crashed negative 844% against Bitcoin in 1 year. Guys, this stream is not going to give us enough time to go into the history of currency, so go do it for yourself. But a quick overview, ever since we have gone off the gold standard, which was the last time the world actually had economic stability, it was brought to us through the Romans back in, I don't even remember the years the Romans took power and did all that, but we saw 4 centuries of world economic prosperity. Now, was there still injustice? Was there still all this crap going on? Absolutely. But when it comes to economics, when it comes to currency, when it comes to being fairly paid for what you do and fairly paying for what you need, we actually had economic stability, and that all crashed back in the 20s when we decided to go off the gold standard. Look more into it. You need to know the difference, and this is the point I want to make here before we move on to Binance Coin. You need to know the difference between hard money and soft money. And after that, you need to know that not all hard money is perfect money because it's not perfect if it can't be centralized. For example, gold is a hard money. What does hard money mean? It's hard to make more of. You've heard Jebb talk about this before. Bitcoin's best asset is its limit on its cap. Like it's $21 million or 21 million Bitcoin cap. That's what makes it a hard money. Once we've mined that 21 million, we cannot make any more. The US dollar is as soft as they come because literally the government can print out new money whenever it wants. So hard money, remember this, hard money is money that is not easily made. Soft money is money that can be made very easily. Now, you might be asking, does that mean all soft money is terrible? Not necessarily, because some money that is soft, meaning it could be made, it can't be made super easily. So for example, at this point, Ethereum would still fall into the definition of soft because it does not have a cap on it. But that being said, it is very hard to make, or at least it's a slow process of being made. And I know Ethereum, we'll talk about that in a whole nother video. Ethereum's working on solving that. I think part of some of these updates that are coming out is going to be switching it to a format where it does have a cap. But at this point, while it's still technically a soft dollar in terms of it doesn't have a cap on it, it's still hard to produce. Just like silver. Silver was kind of in that boat for a while. It was hard to produce. But the minute silver became easy to produce, and mark my words, if Ethereum doesn't fix this, they're going to have a problem come in when someone finds out how to mine it easily, where the number will just go down just like everything else. Hard money, though, like Bitcoin, like gold, I think Cardano has a fixed cap, correct?
It does.
Lots of coins have fixed caps. These are hard monies. What does that mean? They cannot be produced easily, so they will stay at their rate. That being said, what was gold's problem? As great as gold was for 4 centuries, the government got involved. Because it was a physical thing, the government got involved and they centralized it. And that was the beginning of the end. Back in 1984, this is a quote by an economist, Friedrich Hayek. And he is from Austria, but he won the 1974 Nobel Peace Prize. And he is talking, not knowing a single thing about blockchain technology, not knowing a single thing about Bitcoin, because I believe blockchain didn't even come around to existence until 1991, much less Bitcoin is only 12 years old. This is a quote that he said back in 1984. He said, "I don't believe we shall ever have a good money again before we take the thing out of the hands of the government. That is, we can't take them violently out of the hands of the government. All we can do is by some sly, roundabout way, introduce something that they can't stop." Ladies and gentlemen, what is Bitcoin? It is not illegal. It was not violently taking any power away from anybody, but it was a sly way of taking hard money that is not centralized so that we can take power away from the government. And this is exactly what the world needs in an economy. Where gold was doing so well and then failed was it was hard money that allowed itself to become centralized. Why is Bitcoin so massive? This is all you need to tell your family and friends. Bitcoin is hard money that will never, ever, ever, ever be centralized because of its nature. This is the solution to poverty, to economic disparity that we have been looking for over a century now to fix our problem. So, moving on, that was big. Is there any questions? That's a big thing right there. Before I move on, I want to make sure you guys don't have anything to add on there.
Nope, I'm good.
No, come on. Okay. I guess I put it in good terms.
Tim
there.
killed it, guys. He killed it. I have nothing else to say. Tim fried it.
Yeah, great. Any questions we saw, Smay or Dasa?
Yeah.
Yo, good.
Huh?
Good,
Okay,
Smith.
but-
I just said yeah.
I asked those questions. All right. The organization of this show, the content's been great. I feel like, Jebb's a pro. Jebb's been doing this for years now.
Jebb is a
We'll learn though.
beast.
We'll learn. All right. Well, there's no great questions. Yeah. Who's that noob? I'm that noob, Krebs. Yeah. It's a thing.
We're all newbie.
We noobs.
are the
That being
noobs.
said, argue with our points though. That's
Hey,
that's
you
all
know
I'm
what?
gonna say.
You know what's a
Debate.
universal thing that everyone can understand? The like button, guys.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
go ahead and hit
Hey,
that like button. You know?
Go ahead and
my
smash
God.
that like button. Like
you
it
know
up
what I
for
mean? Like-
Tim. Tim is killing it today. Like it for crypto noobs. Like it for Smee the Tree. No Chill Dasa. Hit the like button.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Oh, I do want to answer one question. It's called Polvito. First of all, shout out to Polvito.
Hey, Polvito.
Real quick before I answer your question though, Smay seems to think that you only love him and that you have been casting hate. I feel like you and I have a great relationship, Polvito. I know you're questioning my point, but that's okay. I love questions. I love when
what's going
people
on
ask
here?
why. Here's the why. He asked, so in case you guys didn't see his question, he said the solution to poverty, a coin costing over 60,000 a piece. How? Question mark. Great point. There's only 21 million of them. But the good news is they can be broken down into, I think the smallest is a Satoshi, correct? Dasa?
Yeah.
What's that?
Satoshi is the smallest.
Yep.
So, for example, at the moment, I don't even own a whole Bitcoin. I think I own pretty darn close to 0.5 Bitcoin. Now, I've spread out to other assets as well. Had a joke earlier I was going to tell, I just didn't, that my portfolio looks very similar to BitBoy's portfolio. If you multiply it times 3 and then move the decimal to the left 3 spaces, that's what my portfolio looks like. That being said, though, right now, I'm sitting about $30,000, right? But here very quickly, as that and continues to grow and grow and grow, when I have 0.5 of Bitcoin and a lot of other people have 0, that's significant. Like that's a significant change. Like right now, I was kind of even talking with Jebb about this last night. How do we voice this in a way that's acceptable, that doesn't hurt feelings? But the problem is sometimes it does hurt feelings. There are 2 types of people right now that could potentially take advantage of this. And this is why I'm talking to you guys out here. Yeah, there might be some of you who came from a background of wealth, in which case, you know what? That's fine. Where you started has nothing to do with where you go. I have seen people start with little and turn it into a buttload like Jebb. For those of you who don't know Jebb's story, broke is a joke, not even kid you. And now my man is worth over $1 million, probably pushing closer to that 2 point. Either way, that's the story of starting with 0 and getting a whole lot. I've also seen the flip side where someone started with the whole world given to them and they completely ruined it. Here is what you have to do. No matter what you have, no matter where you came from wealth or where you came from nothing, Bitcoin is what is going to allow you to change the game. And here's the thing. If you are sitting here, if you're listening to this video and you are someone who says, Tim, I did not come from a background of wealth. I don't have that much to invest. How can I actually get in on this? Because I don't have that much. And if I feel like anything I put into it is so minuscule, right? Stop thinking about instant gratification. Start moving it to the future. If you put in $100 right now, as Bitcoin continues to skyrocket, that money will grow. That money will go crazy. If you learn to trade and you invest in your trading ability right now, your money will go crazy. Even if I have a friend who has a system who all they do is they try to get 1% growth every single day. But they've done the math. I think they started with $100. By the end of this year, they will turn their $100 into $60,000. Why? Because they're going to be doing it slowly and consistently. They're not worried about the fact that they don't have a lot of money right now. They're thinking about the future. And guess what? This time next year, when they're sitting with $60,000, but that number is going to be in Bitcoin, it is going to skyrocket as Bitcoin continues to climb and as the US dollar plummets. I didn't even think we were going to camp out on this that much. There was a story we couldn't even get to pull up, but it was actually talking about this spike recently in Bitcoin isn't even because of the Coinbase news. Isn't even because, Jebb's been telling you guys from the TA perspective, we've been waiting for a breakout on Bitcoin. It actually has a lot to do with the fact that the US dollar right now is going down the crapshoot. Look at all these things happening. I don't know where you are in the political spectrum, and I'm not going to get into politics. That being said, no one can deny that the inflation of the US dollar is killing it, and Bitcoin is here to save the day. Now, are you going to get on that train, or are you going to stay off of it? And here's what I'm telling you. Right now, I think there's an advantage for people who come from backgrounds of low income to change the game. But if we don't jump on it now, people who have money are coming. As you guys saw recently, we got investors talking to BlackRock, talking to, what was the other one?
It's a bank. It was the second bank in America.
Either way, we have very wealthy people demanding their investment firms invest money for them into Bitcoin. Get in now before they do, and that's how we are going to solve the economic crisis. So, Polvito, I hope that answers your question. That being said,
I like roasting the U.S. dollar, guys.
yeah, the
U.S.
US dollar.
dollar's poopy.
It is. All right, let's move on. News in Binance Coin. I don't think we have an article for this. I think we're actually going to let Dasa kind of take this one over. I'll read the headline, but he's going to tell you exactly what this means. First of all, unless you've been living under a rock, you have seen Binance Coin skyrocket within these last 2 weeks. And I'm going to let him take it over as to why he thinks that is happening.
Yeah, so for those of you that aren't aware, Binance Coin does an annual burning is what they call it. And what that is they take it's not a set number of coins, but anywhere from 500,000 to 3 to 5 million-ish coins, and they'll burn them. They'll kill the coin so that they're taken out of circulation permanently. And what that does, so Binance Coin is already a hard money with a hard cap of a hard market cap at 200 million coins. But since they started an annual burning, they are already down to, I believe, 170 million. And what that does is it shoots up the value every time because it means there are less coins in circulation to be traded, and the harder it is to receive anything. In the same way that Bitcoin, there's only 21 million. As Binance Coin burns more coins, its price will continue to shoot up. So in my personal opinion, I would say if ever there were a time to buy Binance Coin, it's now. I think it's actually low, like $567. I think it's at a low, and I think it has potential to be worth a few grand eventually. So if you are interested in Binance Coin at all in any way, especially with the news of the Coinbase IPO dropping and the fact that they intend to do continual annual burnings for the next few years, as far as I'm aware, buy Binance Coin. It is a good investment, and I think you'll end up profiting from it big time in the long run.
Do you think, Dawson, do you think that's a good long-term coin, or do you think it's a short-term coin?
I don't know how long-term I think it is. I think maybe a 3 to 5 year investment, it'll make a few grand, and you'll profit heavily from it. At least 100%, so it doubles to at least $1,000. In my mind, that's a minimum within the next 2 years. I don't know how long-term I see it going, but at least 3 to 5 years.
Even with that thought, we were talking about this morning. First of all, is Binance Coin centralized or decentralized?
So Binance Coin has received some backlash. People, the way that it functions is partially centralized, and so it's got some kickback for that. But I think what they're doing is they're working on disconnecting it from, originally it was an ERC20 token, so it's connected to Ethereum, but they're transferring it over to the Binance Smart Chain. And from there, I think they intend to make it fully decentralized. Yeah. But initially, it definitely wasn't fully decentralized. There was some centralization that was going on there.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So first of all, from a money standpoint, or from it going up, you can't have been called an idiot for investing. Oh, what the heck, this thing. I now see what Jebb is always dealing with in the world. So short term, I'm going to give my opinion real quick. Short term, I think you could make a lot of money in Binance. I don't see Binance going anywhere anytime soon. And when I say short term, I'm not saying short term like months or weeks or years. I think it will do well for a couple years. What we just talked about, though, if you guys were listening, hard money, soft money, and then is it centralized or is it not centralized? And that quote from Frederick Hayek. Sorry. The problem with Binance, as great as it's doing and as great as the fundamentals look in terms of its growth and its ability to be used, that issue of not being decentralized is massive because we might disagree on so many things, but I think every human in the world, no matter where you stand on any other thought, we can all agree that when the government or when a single powerful entity gets its hands on something, they find a way to screw it up. Sometimes it's a matter of weeks, sometimes months, years, centuries. Either way, we as humans have an innate ability to screw things up when we allow one person or one entity to become too powerful. That is my fear for Binance Coin. I still think you can make money on it, but if we're talking long-term thought, it can't even begin to touch the value that Bitcoin or things like Cardano or even Ethereum will have in the sense of that they will stay decentralized. Now, all that changes if any of those coins become centralized, which, I've heard we're going to talk about this in a whole nother video. Smay has his whole take on it, why he's kind of sometimes a Ethereum pooper, is because there's a small chance Ethereum has been discussing becoming a semi-centralized platform, which would be horrible. But that being said, that's my take on Binance. What do you guys think? Do we see anything in chat that's interesting?
Yeah, I see something. Guys. Like
my
the
God.
stream,
What does Smay
guys.
see?
Like the stream. I'm seeing not enough people liking the stream.
It's a whole new view to watch Smay from this side, because when I sit where Doss is sitting, you can't see his face, can you?
Can't
Doss?
see his face at
Not
all.
at all. So when
Sadly,
you
I
guys
love
see
his
his
face.
little weird faces throughout the stream, I never get to see that. I watched the show back yesterday, and I never knew Smay did half the things that he did. I'm becoming a Smay fan, and I get to see him from this side. So Jebb gets a treat that I don't ever get to have. That being said, let's move
I really am
on.
a
For the
treat.
sake of time, let's move to Cardano. So Cardano.
ADA, baby.
That jumped last night to $1.50, which is awesome. I know it's sitting down now. Let me go look at this over here. Sitting at 142, that's still a massive pump. But, we got to 150 last night. And we have an article here. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Talking about a trader. I think she's a trader. Janet Bennett. Let me get to the chart. Top analyst Janet Bennett says
you on
that
the screen so I can
Cardano
switch it over?
is... Oh, what?
You got an article up?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because
I-
hey, you're not warning me now, so you're switching from tabs.
I'm
I
trying.
gotta
I
be
ain't got
cautious,
the. I ain't got the smoothness like Jebb. I'm getting there.
Jebb is
Top
too
analyst
smooth,
says
ladies and
Cardano
gents.
is undervalued and will print massive 10x gains, and here is when. So, a high-profile trader and crypto strategist is saying that Cardano ADA bull market is far from over. Not really breaking news. I think we all knew that. But in a new tweet, analyst Justin Bennett tells his... Oh, it is like him. This is Justin. What did I say? Janet?
Yeah,
It might
what
be,
the heck?
guys. I typed it
Janet
wrong.
Bennett, everyone.
It's not.
Bruh.
I'm sorry, Justin. I'm so sorry.
He loves you.
Justin Bennett tells 39,200 followers that 39,200 followers that he believes Cardano, which is currently trading around 142, which is last night, so he's right back at it, may still be undervalued. Then he goes on to say, a lot of people are trying to tell me ADA is overvalued. We're all in the crypto bull market. That means that 99% of cryptos are or will be massively overvalued by conventional valuation models. ADA moving sideways for 6 weeks tells me that the market doesn't believe it's overvalued at all. The trader adds that he's accumulating Cardano as he believes that the current consolidation sets up the smart contract platform for massive breakout. In case you weren't here, yesterday we talked about ADA's approach to smart contracts and how Charles Hoskinson believes that they will become the king of the smart contract. You pair that with what they're doing in Africa, Cardano's amazing. Anyway, starting to build up a sizable ADA position. I've held some for a while, but adding to it here, anything between 110 and 130 is fair game. I don't buy markets that are going vertical. I buy markets that went vertical recently and have since gone sideways for over a month. That's a recipe for the next leg higher. Now you'll see here again, we're not doing technical analysis. This is not our technical analysis. This is his. You can see there, we're moving in that sideways triangle pattern, and he has predicted this massive pump right here. Let us know what you guys think. He's saying $10 before 2021 expires. I would love to see it because that
gotta
would mean
warn me.
I would go up.
You switched tabs and didn't warn me.
Again, this is new. This is new. We're brought to you by Crypto Noobs. We're also brought to you by YouTube Noobs. We're one and the same. What do you guys think? Do we see any interesting thoughts, questions, concerns, agreements?
I
hates?
see a couple people talking about Cardano versus VeChain, so I looked into it a little. I'm not
Yeah.
seeing a whole lot in terms of the correlation between them competing with one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see something, you know.
Okay,
What I see
pop it
is,
up.
So just to clarify real quick, I'm not going to get into it, but Tim kind of said what my take was on Ethereum. That's not what my take was. It wasn't that I think Ethereum's going to be centralized. I just think there's going to be some drama. We'll see, though.
Well, the drama is going to turn it into either the miners are going to hate it or it will have to be centralized, right?
Kind of.
Yeah,
but not
so,
really,
yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, no, I saw some interesting comments, but they were about stuff a while ago. And we got to keep moving because yesterday when we were playing this stream, we were worried we weren't going to have enough content. We are realizing very quickly we have maybe too much content. So
Rip.
if you guys get us to 1,000 likes, which we are only, what is that?
Freaking no likes, bro.
6.5?
Yeah, dude.
Six-
You guys
600
hate
away?
us. Why are we hated?
Yeah, let's do 1,000 likes and we will
literally,
extend the
If we
stream.
don't get to 1,000 likes, I'm never coming on stream again. I'm
Also,
just not ever gonna show
also
up again,
Jebb told
guys.
us that if this stream doesn't go well, we might get fired. So
Yeah.
if you love
Don't
us
get me
at all,
fired.
please like this stream and keep it going. Anyway, that being said, let's jump right back to it. Oh, okay. Someone asked earlier. This is actually great. Someone asked earlier, when is Smay gonna get? Why are we not letting Smay open up and become his full potential?
Oh.
I'm gonna pull the article up for you, and if you want me to read it, that's fine. But something cool is happening in the NFTs, and for those of you who have not been here for a while, Smay, he's a lover. He loves how much he hates NFTs. I think is a good way
That's not even what I said. I love NFTs. I love NFTs.
That is not what he was
He
saying
hates
a
them.
couple
He
weeks
hates
ago.
them. Smay is a liar. Smay is lying.
No. Listen to me.
He
Listen to me,
hates
guys. I'm not even gonna
NFTs.
put the camera on back on you guys. Listen to me. Listen to me. I love NFTs. I just hate when people say that NFTs are going to replace real art. It's a misunderstanding of art. Art can't be replaced because art isn't its medium.
Facts.
That's all I'm saying.
Truth. Here we go.
So I hate when people say NFT art is going to replace art. That's just not how art works. That's why I get upset. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and just start talking about this
you
article.
can pull up my screen.
Yeah.
I will make sure I let you know to pull it down before I move away.
All right, the article's
but they
up.
can see the article and then you can talk about it.
Yeah, so basically, guys, I saw this today and I thought, okay, so if you don't know me, I really love movies. I love movies. I love movie theaters. I love movie culture. I want to make movies. I love it. When I see that now NFTs are now, because of Kevin Smith, who I don't like as a director, to be honest with you guys, I don't like his movies, but he's setting a new trend here, which is now he's the first person ever to sell a movie, like a Hollywood movie, as an NFT. That's pretty awesome. And this sets a new precedent that I think is really cool for the future of movies and cinema and crypto, that basically when you buy a movie NFT, you've now basically have the rights to stream it, display it, however, because now you own the files for that movie. You own the movie, I guess is how you could say it. You don't own the copyright to the movie, that's different, but you own the ability to distribute it and share it any way you want. With that meaning that potentially we could see movie theaters buying NFTs and being able to exclusively stream movies. So for instance, like Regal, I don't know if you guys have Regals where you're at, but say if Regal Cinemas and AMC Cinemas are in the same town, and Regal says, I'm going to buy the NFT to Godzilla vs. Kong.
Now, that's a game changer.
Yeah, we could see now there's a lot of competition there. That competition amongst theaters to try to get the best movies in their theater could breed a new life into theaters. And now we're probably going to see the return of movies, especially if a theater can buy the NFT away from like Netflix. Now you have to go to the theater to watch it. You can't just watch it on Netflix. So now we're seeing potentially, because of cryptocurrency, the return of movie theaters the way they were in a new, fascinating way, which I think is really cool. Really cool. Not to mention also you could just own your own NFT movie, which is pretty awesome.
As cool as all this is, some of you said NFTs will never surpass art. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. In the latest stimulus packages that have gone out, there were massive amounts given to art galleries, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So is that not a sign that the physical art is starting to lose value? And then you pair that with the fact that NFTs are making a massive push?
Yeah, so that's a great point.
Let us know what you think in chat. Do you think
That's a great
NFTs
point.
will surpass physical art?
So the thing is, it's not, so here's the thing. Again, it's a misunderstanding of art, meaning the physical medium is always going to exist. Whether people have interest in it or not, in terms of viewing it, I mean, art is all around us. You know what I mean? The way our phones are designed, is an art. There's designers that design it. It's an art form. The way we make this show, it's an art form. It depends on the way you look at art, of course. But there's a lot of art doing technical analysis. Technical analysis is an art, right? So with that, I would say to say that it's going to replace art. Now, to say is it going to become the most popular medium that we consume art? By all means. I mean, I'm sure that's very possible. I just don't see it's not the idea of it replacing. There's not going to be any less painters in the world.
We'll see.
There's not going to be any less sculptors in the world. There's some art mediums that you'd really just have to interact with physically, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so, quick thing, I saw some people talking about Cardano partnering with ScanTrust, for those of you that aren't aware. So they are, I'm just going to talk about it and read the article real quick. Cardano Foundation is pleased to announce the live release of a unique supply chain traceability and anti-counterfeit solution together with ScanTrust, a connected goods and products platform that provides digitalization for brand protection, supply chain traceability, and consumer engagement to Fortune 500 enterprises and small to medium enterprises in over 168 countries worldwide. The Cardano ScanTrust solution allows brand owners to leverage the traceability and targeted data functions of ScanTrust's physical secured QR codes together with the speed and low cost of Cardano blockchain for supply chain traceability and anti-counterfeit use cases. So to simplify that, Cardano is working on stopping scams through anti-counterfeit measures with a company called ScanTrust, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, anyway, we're going to get back to it. We're going to jump back on. This is all big. Let us know in chat if you guys have any questions or thoughts about NFTs. But I want to move on really quickly because we actually probably are supposed to be closing out here very soon. We have two things we have to do real quickly. The first one is DASA. What is the best platform to invest in IPO, Coinbase IPO? I know you guys were asking about this yesterday, so one of the reasons he's on the show is to give you guys the information what we're doing, and let's try to get that really quickly so we move to the last point, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Cool.
See,
Yeah.
DASA's not a stonks noob. He's a crypto noob, not a stonks noob.
That's true. DASA
we
loves stonks.
Yep.
So I personally use Webull, E-Trade, and TD Ameritrade. If it were about Coinbase specifically for the IPO, I would say Webull. It's really simple. You go in there, you have to have your social security number, like proof of address and identification. You have to be at least 18 years old. But if you have those things, I would say use Webull. As far as I know, they get the Coinbase IPO as soon as it drops. And it's temporarily suspended because it's not trading anywhere right now. But when it's released, it'll be available on most major platforms because it's dropping through NASDAQ. So make sure that you're using one of those.
Yep. All right. Before we end the stream, because this is the purpose of it, we did not think all the information was going to take that long. For those who are asking in chat, where is Jebb? A great question. He is at a massive meeting that he's going to be at every single, I think it's the second Wednesday of every single month. So that being said, that is why he is gone. He will be back tomorrow. I know some of you guys miss him, but we want to give you guys a change of pace, let you guys hear from us. And I want to close out the stream with 7 tips that every crypto noob should live by. And the reason why this is so important, if you guys were here yesterday, we talked about this. I am for sure a noob. Just so you guys know, I didn't get into Bitcoin until August of 2020, and I really didn't start doing any research until December. So I am very fresh, but I think there's a lot of people out there just like me. Maybe some are a little bit older, but some are a little bit newer. DASA, he's only been in the crypto space for what, like 8 months, 9 months now?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. Okay, so he's a little bit older than me, and then Smay just got in, I think, pretty much the same time as me. So we are all relatively fresh. And the common thing that is thought is that if you are new, you don't really have a thought. You don't really have anything to add. And we are here to completely squash that. But here's the thing. If you are a noob, if you are new to crypto, if you're wondering, how can I actually be successful? Because it seems like everybody else knows what they're doing and I'm just lost. Here are the 7 things that you need to be every bit of why you make decisions, and everything that you do, you run through these 7 tips. The first and probably the most important thing that I have learned, and this isn't anything in life, but specifically in crypto, is to ask why to everything. Own that you don't know things and you need to ask a lot of questions, but that is perfect. Children are the epitome of this. Children ask why to everything. And the reason why is because they want to learn. So a child that asks more whys is a child who grows up to learn more things. In crypto, be okay. Own the fact that you're a noob and ask why. The truth is, there have been several times at this office, Jebb, who knows a buttload of information about crypto, I will ask, he'll make a statement and I'll just ask why. I won't even do anything more profound than that. I just ask him why. And he has to take a step back and think about it. And there have been some times that his mind has actually changed. Not because I actually said anything that was correct, not because I disagree with him and I was actually right, because I asked the question why. When things get old, sometimes people who are experienced forget to look back at the minute details. That's where us noobs are so valuable, because what changes the game is when we don't just stick to tradition, but we're always questioning and asking why. Number 2. Learn from mistakes. Now, there's 2 types of mistakes, and you need to learn from both of them. The best mistakes to learn from are other people's. Listen, Jebb has been in this game for a long time, but he has made a lot of mistakes. I ask him all the time what he has done, why it was wrong, so that I don't make the same one. No matter what you're doing in life, it is great to learn from other people's mistakes. This is why listening to your elders is so important, because they've lived life you haven't lived. Now, hopefully, you don't make the same mistakes, but sometimes you do, and that's the second mistake you can make, is making your own mistake, doing something stupid, putting too much money into a trade. At the end of the day, if you make your own mistakes, own it and learn from it. Because if you just get scared and quit, you will never succeed. But if you own your mistakes and you learn from them, those mistakes will actually be some of the most profitable pieces of information that make you into an experienced trader. Number 3, so we got ask why everything, learn from mistakes. Number 3, keep your mind fixed on long-term, not short-term. We talked about it a little bit in this stream, but the things I have here is that instant gratification is the biggest enemy of success. And listen, right now we are sitting in a bull cycle, so it is very easy to get in and be like, oh, how much money can I make right now? But guess what? Someday we're going to be in a bear cycle. Someday we're going to be going down. And if you're planned for long-term success and not just short-term success, you will learn how to ride that wave. Just like we were talking about coins, what coin are you choosing? Sometimes it's wise to choose a short-term coin, but know it's a short-term coin. But ultimately, make sure you choose your long-term coins, your long-term benefactors, and those are the coins you use. Think long-term, not short-term. Number 4, keep emotion out of your decision-making. Don't attach yourself to a project. Attach yourself to making progress. You might like a coin's platform or what they're made to do, but make sure it is the future and that future is bright and that it is actually accomplishing what it needs to be successful. I've seen a lot of comments, a lot of questions, people connecting themselves to a coin because they see a pump or they see something cool or they really like it. Don't get me wrong, this could be the attraction you need to understand that coin. But don't just listen to a coin or listen to its platform and say, I like that, I'm going to buy. Look at its history. Look at what it's made to do. Look at the steps it's taking to accomplish the goal that it actually set out to accomplish. Those are the coins you need to look at. So when people ask, what coin should I invest in? Don't attach yourself to one coin and then just stick to it emotionally. Make sure you do your research. Number 5, start small and go big. Only use money that you're okay losing. And what I mean by that is, Jebb says this all the time, so those of you who have been here for a while have heard him use this analogy. When you're going to set up a trade or when you're going to invest, imagine you're taking that money and you're going to your backyard, you're lighting it with gasoline and then setting it on fire. You will never see it again. And here's the good thing. If you happen to make a mistake, if you do enter a bad trade, because that happens to even the best of them, if that wasn't money you needed, then it doesn't hurt you at all. But if it's a good trade and if you grow from it and if that a little bit of money turns into a lot of money, that's the best news. That's like finding a $20 bill in your pocket that you didn't even know was in there because it's gone through 20 loads of laundry. Use money you don't need to use. Now, the question is, if you don't have a lot of money, learn how to budget that. Learn how to live off of a little to, again, delay gratification, live off a lot in the future. All right. Number 6, study people that you disagree with and learn what they have learned. I have seen so many comments in not only our videos, but other crypto YouTubers where people just flat out are haters and they just want to go off because they disagree. That doesn't mean you're wrong. Maybe you're absolutely right. Maybe 90% of what I say is false. Maybe a lot of what Jebb says is false. But here's what I can tell you. The people that are successful, they don't just disagree with people. They find out why they disagree with people. And what they do is they say, you know what? If 99% of what that person thinks is false, but 1% of it is something that I can add to my thinking and my thought process, then it was worth it to research them and learn what they have learned. So don't just write people off. If you disagree with them, play devil's advocate. Learn what they've learned so that you're better equipped to know where to move forward. The last and most important thing is number 7, become hungry to learn. Listen, Jebb has put a lot of time into crypto. Before I was working here, I put a lot of time into training. I was a physical trainer, an athletic trainer. I have actually trained several college athletes, and I'm currently training an athlete who wants to make it in the NFL. That being said, because I was so interested in that field, I probably spent literally 20,000 hours researching, training, nutrition, physical fitness, how to make yourself better athletically. And it's because I'm hungry to learn. I want to know that. From the time I was little, I just loved sports and being athletic. Because it's what I was hungry for, I did it. Listen, right now when it comes to crypto, a lot of you have gotten into crypto because you're worried about your finances, you're worried about your money. It's time to become an adult. It's time to become hungry. You can't just put a little bit of time into this. You got to put your heart and soul into it. You got to become hungry. The best hunters are ones that haven't eaten in a while. The lions don't go for hunts when they've just eaten. They wait until they're hungry and then they become urgent. That being said, if you are hungry to learn, I know we didn't talk any technical analysis today. If you are hungry to learn and you don't have 12,000 hours to learn, like Jebb did, Jebb has a course called CT2A that you can purchase that is a 12-hour course. 12-hour course, and it teaches you everything you need to know about technical analysis. I'm halfway through it. The reason we didn't do any TA today is because while I'm learning TA, I couldn't present it in a way that would really help you just yet. It helps me though. And it's because I'm taking that course that I'm able to save my time and maximize it. Again, this goes back up to learn from people wiser than you. If you want to do the research yourself, it's out there. Jebb's proved it. It's out there. He did 12,000 hours of research. But if you don't have 12,000 hours, but you do have 12, I would heavily consider purchasing CT2A today and get started on that delayed gratification. Hey, it's going to cost a little money right now, so you make a lot of money in the future. That's all I have for you guys today. I know we ran over time. Real quick before we go out, Smay, did you see any questions we want to cover?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we close?
We are going to close. Yes, I'm sorry, guys. No Jebb today. We ran over. That's our mistake, but we'll get better and better. Jebb will be back tomorrow, and we will see you guys. So the way he wraps up every single stream is he says, I just want to first thank each and every one of you for joining us. Peace.